Hello everybody, hello grade 2A. Today I'm going to continue chapter 4, kinds of habitats. I will be introducing lesson 3, the pond and the ocean habitats. So the two vocabulary words that we are going to learn throughout this lesson, ocean habitat and the pond habitat. I will be starting with the ocean habitat. Let's have a look. The ocean habitat, as you can see, is a large body of salt water. So, the ocean habitat is a large body of salt water. So, now I'm going to talk about the plants and the animals that live in this habitat. Okay? So, as you all know, living things in each habitat, they have body parts that help them to adapt and survive in each habitat. They have to adapt by satisfying their needs in the habitat they live in. Now, as I told you, the ocean habitat is a large body of salt water. Now, what about the plants that live in such a habitat? The kelp plant is an ocean plant. So what is a kelp plant? It's an ocean plant. This is our kelp plant. The kelp plant provide shelter for most of the ocean animals. So the kelp plant is an ocean plant. It provides shelter for the ocean animals. What about the ocean animals? Shark is an ocean animal. Whale is an ocean animal. Crabs are ocean animals. Squid is an ocean animal. Anglerfish is an ocean animal. Starfish is a living thing also that live in an ocean habitat. Okay, now, how do animals in the ocean habitat adapt or survive? When I say adapt, you all know how do these animals find a way in order to survive and satisfy their needs. Okay, so crabs and starfish, they live very close to the shore. So now we are talking about starfish and crabs. They live close to the shore. Dolphins and sharks, they live deep in the ocean. They live away of the shore. So the shark, for example, it has a rocket shape. The rocket shape helps the shark to move fast in the ocean. As we said before, that the body parts of the animals or living things in a certain habitat help them to survive. So the shark shape, the rocket shape that the shark has, it helps it to move fast in the ocean. Now, the anglerfish and the squid, they live deep in the ocean. So the anglerfish and the squid, they live deep in the ocean. I will sum up the last two ideas. I was talking about the animals that live away of the ocean, and I was talking away of the shore, and I'm talking about the animals that live deep in the ocean. So squids and anglerfish, they live deep in the ocean. Dolphins and sharks, they live away of the shore. And the starfish and the crab, they live close to the shore. Jellyfish and squid, they move in the water by sucking water and forcing it back. This is the way how they adapt in the ocean. They move by sucking water and forcing the water out. Now, as I have explained, to sum up, the ocean habitat is a large body of salt water where living things like sharks, dolphins, anglerfish, starfish, the kelp plant live. And these animals have body parts that help them to survive and adapt in such a salt habitat. Now let's move to the other kind of habitat. The other kind of habitat is the pond habitat. The pond habitat, the small body of water that where the water does not flow. So the pond habitat is this very small body of water where the water does not flow, and it has fresh water, which means it has little salt in it. So the other kind of habitat is the pond habitat. It is a small body of water where the water does not flow, and it has fresh water, which means it has little salt in it. Let's see what are the living things that live in such a habitat. Okay. Now, this is the pond habitat. The water does not flow, as you can see in such a habitat. Now I will show you the plants that live in such a habitat. Now, the first kind of plant that live in such a habitat is the red bed plants. The reed bed plants. The reed bed plants, they grow close to each other around the pond. The leaves and the flowers and the stems of these plants, they grow outside of the water to get the basic need, the sunlight. So, as I have said, this kind of plant, we call it the reed bed plants. The reed bed plants, they grow close to each other around the pond, and the flowers and the stems and the leaves of these plants, they grow outside of the water to get sunlight. Let's have a look at the animals that grow in such a habitat. Water snake is an example of the animals that live in a pond habitat. The muskrat is another example. This is a muskrat. Now, frogs and fish, turtles also grow in such a habitat. How do these animals adapt in such a habitat? The turtle and the frog and the fish, they eat insects, for example. Water snakes, they grow in the grass around the pond, and they eat fish and frogs. So, as we have mentioned before, animals survive in each habitat by eating another animals, and this is what we call the food chain. So they eat another animals, and they eat other plants in order to satisfy their needs. Now, how does this insect adapt and survive in a pond? The beetle, this is a beetle. This beetle, it carries air bubbles inside water in order to breathe. So such an insect, it carries a bubble of air inside water in order to breathe. To sum up, I'm talking today about two kinds of habitats, the pond habitat and the ocean habitat. The pond habitat is a fresh, small body of fresh water where the water does not flow. As you can see here, the water is not flowing. And the other kind of habitat is the ocean habitat. It's a huge, large body of salt water. I hope you have enjoyed this video. You can pause whenever you need in order to repeat or to understand a concept. Thank you so much for watching the videos. See you the coming week. Bye-bye.